Even if you're being careful and following all the safety precautions, accidents like this could still happen. When put in a situation like this, what would you do? The laboratories are one of the best parts of taking a biology course. There are so many enjoyable activities available that let you put your newly acquired knowledge into practice. However, lab work can swiftly go from oh yeah to oh no when the recommended safety measures are not followed. Although it may seem like a huge bummer, everyone benefits when the rules are followed. Let's go over to some fundamental safety guidelines that must be observed in any laboratory environment in order to ensure that you and everyone else in the lab have a good time. Your hair should be up while working in the lab. If not, it may catch fire, knock stuff over, occlude your vision, or drop into your flask. Cover your body as much as possible. The sleeves must be long but not drapey. Wear long pants, clothing that will cover your entire torso. Avoid wearing sandals. Closed-toed shoes must be worn with socks. When you're done with the experiment, do not just dump the results into the sink, unless this has been explicitly approved by the person in charge for chemical safety. For some chemicals like common acids or bases, dilution is the solution to pollution. When they get diluted, all that's left is common ions like chloride ions from HCl or sodium ions from sodium hydroxide, or in addition to some protons or hydroxide ions that are neutralized by buffer ions that are present in your sewage system anyway. But for some chemicals, flushing them with water is not a good idea. It probably won't hurt you, but it might hurt the environment. Put the products into an appropriate waste container, but not just any waste container. Different solvents and reagents have to be disposed of differently. And if you dump some stuff into the wrong container, it can totally react with the other things that have been dumped in there. Oh look, some hazard pictograms inside the lab. I think it warns us of the presence of potentially dangerous chemicals. Let's see each one of those. Explosive. It refers to laboratory chemicals with explosive properties. Flammable. Chemicals designated as flammable have a tendency to ignite and should be stored accordingly. Keep the chemicals away from fires, sparks, and oxidizing substances. Oxidizing. They can provide oxygen to combustible compounds by transferring oxygen to another chemical substrate. They should be kept isolated from flammable materials. When working with oxidizing agents, you should dress appropriately, including gloves and eye protection. Corrosive. Strong chemicals that corrode your skin and other materials. A single drop of the corrosive substance can cause serious harm. When working with corrosive compounds, always use PPE. Acute toxicity. This is the generic sign for toxic or poisonous compounds that if inhaled, absorbed, or ingested can cause significant harm. Hazardous to the environment. The substance involved has the potential to harm the environment. This sign can be found in lab substances that are hazardous to marine wildlife. Such chemicals must be appropriately disposed. Health hazard or hazardous to the ozone layer. This sign refers to the substances that might cause eye irritation and are dangerous when inhaled or swallowed. When working with irritants, protective equipment must be worn. Serious health hazard. It pertains to substances that can cause serious health damage such as respiratory problems, reproductive toxicity, and carcinogenicity. Gas under pressure. Gases stored under pressure, such as ammonia or liquid nitrogen. Such a type of gas do not undergo a chemical reaction under a given condition. These pictograms make it easier for us to understand whether the chemicals we use could be harmful to people or to the environment. And the way they are designed, a diamond-shaped shape with a white backdrop and noticeable red border. Some substances used in the lab have one or many pictograms, as I remember last time when I went to the lab. It is important to practice these chemical safety measures, as this will guide us to avoid unwanted accidents inside the lab, not only to protect ourselves during our experiments and to keep the working environment safe, but also as compliance to RA 11058, or an act strengthening compliance with occupational safety and health hazards and providing penalties for violations thereof, which was signed in 2018. Let's work happily and safely.